Well, fairly easily. I was already familiar with Easy Counsel. I am a consultant, so I'm always eager to try to learn new things. And I was already interested in going for the certified ethical hacker that is provided by Easy Counsel. I did that first, and doing those training and courses, even the trainer, he told me that there are plenty other courses that we can attend to if you want to grow into a management or more a practical role or a penetration role. And as soon as I heard that word penetration, I was like, that's something I really want to get into. So that was my first initiation, let's say, of getting familiar with the certified pen tester course and training. That's a tough question. Why? I also, let's start with the beginning. I believe in a lifelong learning. I think it's quite accustomed to for ICT. If you are not studying or you're not evolving, let's say, you're really losing out, because it's a branch and a sector that moves quite fast, very rapid development, deployment, software, stuff like that. So I've been a consultant for more than 10 years, so I'm very familiar that you need to be on the road, going somewhere, have a destination, have a plan, have something up your sleeve to get yourself, let's say, stable in the market area. So what I did, and I would start with the beginning, like I said. I was searching for tools or platforms that could help me get to know all these techniques, all these things like Kali Linux, for example, Linux in general. I was not that familiar with it, and I was looking just online to see, hey, where can I just do something? And do something, I mean really do something. Not getting a book, a PDF, and start reading all these pages. I was really looking to get hands-on experience. And for me, that was Try Hack Me. And there are quite a lot of places you can go. There's Hack the Box, there's Try Hack Me, Pico CTF. So you have all these platforms that allow you to generally start learning. And that's what I did to start my journey. I made myself an account on Try Hack Me, and I just started to use the platform to get acquainted to all these tools, tips and tricks. Eventually, after some time, it gave me the confidence to grow into my role, and I was like, okay, you know what? I think I know a little bit about cybersecurity. I know a little bit about the tooling, the techniques, the supply chain attack, and all these things. So that's when I started the certified ethical hacker. And of course, I never stopped using it. I still am training. I want to say every day, but really every week at least, just to keep my soft skills on point, to learn more. So from my side, to really have the focus and the ability and the confidence to go towards a professional certification in that regard, in that sector, pen testing, hacking, certified hacking, all these things. Well, I was looking for more than books, and I really found comforts in platforms like Try Hack Me, Hack the Box, where you can easily learn things and only one topic. You pick a topic, you learn the topic, you learn about the tooling. If you have enough, you can quit and you can try something else. And I really think it's like a gamification. It keeps you going. It also, from my personal experience, it gets in your head, and you will start to develop a very good mindset. A mindset you need to have to be able to do these kind of test certification tooling. It's a mindset, and from my experience, I was really into the Try Hack Me platform. So that was something that really helped me building up my confidence, boosting up my skills, and eventually, like you know, I started my CEH, and then after some time, still training, I got my CPENT, and that's basically the first steps I took to get certified. It is the most difficult exam I've ever done. I have to be honest about that. It's the most difficult for several reasons. First reason is the sheer amount of work you need to do, and also the time you can do it in. So that was something completely new to me, to have an exam that you can take, and then if I recall correctly, you can do it in just one go. For the diehards from among us, they can do it in 24 hours. Sorry my French, but I think that's a little bit nuts. I really was not able to do that, so I did it in 2 steps. I did it two times 12 hours, which is a lot. It's demanding, so you need to be prepared for that. And in the second area of your question, what did I find the hardest? Well, I really, and I still am, struggling with buffer overflow. I know the technique, I know how it works, but I'm not that good enough, or not good enough yet, to be able to create my own exploits, my own buffer overflows. So that was something I can really recall in the exam. I think I had 2 or 3 questions about it, and I really did all the best I could. I did it until the end, but I can recall very clearly that in my write-up I also said, like, hey, I'm not familiar with this, I'm not really good at it, I don't understand it all that well, so I didn't create the exploits. So I wasn't able to fully finish that questions, although you get points for doing all these mediator steps. But for me, buffer overflow, it's like, yeah, it's difficult. I'm trying to understand it, but I don't understand it quite yet, and always have difficulties to putting all the right pieces together to get an exploit working. So for me, that was the biggest hurdle in the exam. What I really liked is that it's a hands-on approach, so you really are expected that you know the basic of the, like I said, and I'm really repeating myself here, but it is very, very important that you have the basic knowledge of the attack chain, that you know the flow you should take about compromising a system, or trying to figure out where you need to go. So that is something I really liked in the CPENT exam, the hands-on approach. It's like, we don't really know what your knowledge is, but here is the exam. Do your thing, and if you make it and you compromise the host, hey, you have done the job. So that was really something I liked, that everybody has this own direction. Some people are very experienced and they come from a completely other angle, tackling the same issues, and that's also something I really like. There's such a diversity in techniques and ways and tools and ideas and thought patterns that you can use to eventually get the box compromised. So that's the second topic I have. And then the third from CPENT is, like I already mentioned, I really believe in a lifelong learning. And I do feel Easy Counsel has the same agenda, the same planning, the same idea, the same vision. And I think CPENT is really, it's nice in that way. If for the people who are really looking for OCSP, you have these very hard exams, I think this is perfect. It's not easy, it's very difficult, but it's not like impossible. And I think Easy Counsel is very aware of it, like, hey, it's not for the faint of heart. Please do get prepared, do what you think, do a little bit more if you can, because this exam is not a walk in the park. And that's also something I love. They don't put it behind benches or hide it. They just plain open and very simple, like, hey, it's not that easy. Not everybody will succeed, and also get the mindset right. It's not the end of the world if you didn't succeed. Just pick up and do it again. So that's something I also really like on the CPENT exam. Like you really have this, it's emotional, especially if it's hard, and especially when maybe you're not passing the first time, it really can have an impact on your emotion, and you think like, oh, maybe I'm not good enough. You probably are, but you need to have some little more boost, a little more agile, maybe a little bit of luck as well. That's also something that I'm very familiar with. I believe I had a little bit of luck in my exam as well, and those are the things I really love from the CPENT. It's not like I will take your hand and I will walk you through it. It's really like, okay, here's a swimming pool, jump right in, and let's make it to the end. But if you don't make it to the end, it is a big deal, but it's not the end of the world. And CPENT also really underlines that part, like, hey, it's not an easy exam, so please be realistic on yourself and on your expectations. So that is also something I really liked. It was very, very good. Why I did the training, so I went to a place where I got training from a real certified pen tester in a group. So I really had I really did everything I could to be prepared as much to be able to do the exam. I already mentioned, back the box, you have platforms where you can learn, you have books you can read, you have techniques you can study, you can ask friends, family, you can go to school if you even want to. What I think is it's the Aspen portal, and they really did a good job. And also, if I wasn't able to have the practical exam field, I don't think I would have made it from the first time. I don't think that's possible, because it really gets your mindset, and again, always repeating these words, they are very important. The mindset, they really create the mindset. They really create this platform. You have this network, and this network is really, it's similar to the exam. Of course, it's not the exam. You have different host names and different IPs, but again, the mindset is the same thing. You can really test it, and I also love, I believe, and if I'm not mistaken, you have a month or like 30 days that you can just test all the way. Do it as much as you can. Repeat it. There's no such thing as redundant training in certified pen tester. It doesn't exist. Consistency is key. If you can do it on a daily basis, do it on a daily basis. But then again, on your question, I really love it. I love the exam part. It really reflects the exam. It really also gives you a feeling about how it's going to be. And what I mean by that, the feeling is like, sometimes you will do some testing, some Nmap testing, and you're like, hey, this is really strange results I'm getting here. I'm not able to scan the host. And it's very good that you have that experience in a lab, because I would freak out a little bit if I'm on the exam. You already have the stress of the exam. Then it would be lovely if you have some experience, that oh yeah, I did it in the lab, I remember it wasn't working for X, Y, Z. And then again, I'm coming back to this, your mindset is tweaked, and you really have this really good vibe from yourself, and you understand that, hey, it's trial and error. It's probably the reason why the scan is not working as it should, and you have the time to do some research. You have the time to do it off the exam, and really look into those things, like, okay, why didn't it work, and why did I expect the things that didn't come out of it? And again, you are training your mindset, you are training your skills, and you are preparing yourself for maybe being less surprised if things are not going the way they planned. So that was really something important for me. Of course it did. Let's first start with the first thing. It helped me with myself. It made me confident. It made me more secure. It confirmed that yes, I do know a lot about it. I'm always thinking I know too little. I know not enough. That's the general idea I have. It's very personal, I know, but that's always my mindset. Like, okay, I need to do more. I need to do more. I need to learn more. I need to have more tools. I need to understand more about the technical stuff. And that's not the case. That's not the case. It's not a race. We're not running against each other. It's not a race. It's more like a game. And it's like, are you enjoying yourself? So I really want to understand and underline that as much as possible. So for me, finishing that, I was really like, oh wow, I did it. I'm flabbergasted. I did it. I succeed, and it gave me such a confident boost. I was like, well, you know what? Then I think I'm ready for the next thing. And of course, this benefits my career. I was able to go into a European CERT team as a function, So I've been an ICT consultant, and in a little nutshell, the most experience I have is in networking security, doing firewalls and switches and routers and all those things. I really like it as well, and I still do. But as soon as I got my CPENT, yeah, then the next job I could manage, and I got it. It was on a European level, and it was in a CERT team, so a computer emergency response team. So immediately the next job I had, I was already using it. I was already using these techniques I learned from the supply chain. Where are we? And already could talk and explain things to even manage the profile, because again, it's not a race. We all do what we do, and we do what we do best. So I really enjoyed it that I was able to go a step higher in the hierarchy, let's say, but also just the sheer quantity of fun stuff. Vulnerability assessments. Hey, can you look at this? Someone has scanned our web page. Can you do a small recap? Does it make sense? And I really was like, wow, they're asking me to do these things. I really, wow, I love this. And I was completely mind blown as soon as I got the job. And it didn't end there. It will continue to grow, because if you have the mindset and you put in the work, you will reap the benefits. It will not be tomorrow, it will never be yesterday, but in time you will reap the benefits of it. And currently I am I am the right hand of a CISO at the company. So again, I'm doing all these things with information security and cybersecurity. I'm giving training to people about phishing, about emails. I'm getting called into meetings to explain what is an attack vector, how can we mitigate risk, and I think you can see it, and I think you can hear it from my voice. I love it. I really am so glad I did what I did. I'm so generous that I got this opportunity, and I'm humbled. I'm really humbled with the idea, like, hey, I'm doing my best. I don't know everything, but I'm eager to. I really want to dive into. And if you're searching for someone who has the experience in cyber, I will put my shoulders behind it, and I will come back with an answer if I don't know it by heart. And that creates all these friends, because you're working with people. We manage systems, but we're working with people, and you get confident in your way of teaching, talking, and explaining. And in doing that, you get the respect from your colleagues, from consultants, from third parties, from everywhere. It's like, okay, you know what? That was a good point that you made. So yeah, I will not say immediately. Well, it did. It immediately helped me, because it boosted my confidence, and I was so happy that I succeeded. But within a year, my career was really taking off. And I am, again, so humbled that I have this opportunity to talk to you about it. And right now I'm doing my second big client, and I'm in government risk and compliance, and I'm helping the CISO with my knowledge of CPENT and certified ethical hacking, and of course all the other things I've done. But most of it, those two things are really pivoting around what I am currently. I am a certified ethical hacker, certified again, and I'm a pen tester. Pen tester will come up later in quarter 3 and quarter 4 of this year. Currently we are setting up all these systems, which I'm helping with my knowledge, and I'm already aware that my boss told me, like, hey, as soon as this puzzle is made, you can do a vulnerability assessment on the website. We really want to know, hey, how are we doing on a cybersecurity level? Are we secure? What is secure? Can you explain it to us? And of course, my boss is the CISO. He knows all these things, but he really gives me the opportunity to do all the hands-on. And not only do we have this magical interference with each other, we're really helping, and we really understand each other without any words. He really is like, hey, you're the young guy here. You're the certified guy. I'm just here to make sure that everything goes as smooth as possible, and you are able to do your job. So that's where I am, and I'm very privileged to be here, and I hope for all those who may be watching the video, it will come to you as well. Don't give up. Get the right mindset and be consistent. That's the key. I don't have the experience, so I gotta be really honest here. I've done I'm planning some educations, training, some similar. I'm giving you an example, the CISM, the Information Security Manager. To be really honest and transparent here, because that's what this video is about. It's just the truth as I have experienced it. I don't have any way of comparing them. I've heard about the OSCP and the version 2 and 3, and to be really honest, for me, that's a long shot. I'm thinking that I'm not really that motivated to become that level of penetration tester. I really like to be, more a people person, explaining, training. Those things are really my cup of tea. So I gotta be really honest and transparent here. I don't know how they relate. For me, it's the most important exam that I did. I hope in the future I will do more that will come in the same category. But again, I really want to stress this out. It's an exam of its own. It's really a challenge. The hours you can use it for, like 24 hours to do an exam, it's really frightening. It stands out on itself, and unfortunately, I don't have any experience from my own to reflect the CPENT. For me, the CPENT is the hardest thing I've done in my career as a certification, as an exam. And like I said, I hope maybe in the future I will do the endeavor and search for maybe the next in line, but I don't have the experience. So in all truthness, I don't know. Completely different. And let me explain. What my vision about this is, I did the Certified Ethical Hacker, the CEH. I did it first. It was also recommended to me. I asked just easy counsel, like, hey, what would you provide to me if I would say I want to do all these things? And I summed up a couple of these trainings, and they said, you know what, start with the Certified Ethical Hacker, because it gives you, and that's also how I feel about it now, it gives you a broad perspective. It will dip your toes into the techniques, the attack supply chain, all the how to say it, all the big areas of hacking, and you touch all of them. Password cracking, penetration testing, scanning, vulnerability management. So all these buzzwords, you will get acquainted with it. You will start to know what it is, what they mean by it. So if you talk with another cybersecurity consultant, you can really start to talk your own language. And that's really what I think about Certified Ethical Hacker, the CEH. It really gets you familiar with the cybersecurity field, as well as some techniques and some tools. A Certified Ethical Hacker will not do a deep dive. What do I mean by a deep dive? It will not ask you to do a buffer overflow, for example. That's not what ethical hacking is about. Ethical hacking is more like, are you aware of the cybersecurity landscape? Are you aware what is an attack vector? Do you know what an exploit is? Do you know different exploits? Do you know why we have a remote code execution? Where it's not the same as a local file inclusion. These things, these buzzwords, that's really, from my side, that's ethical hacker. You will get acquainted with all these buzzwords that you are hearing all about in cybersecurity. And to get the jump to the certified pen tester, well, let's say if they are related, they know each other, I would see certified pen tester as the big brother. The big brother that will say, well, if you think you know enough about this, you can now go and do deep dives. Take a topic, go into it, do a deep dive, learn the tools, learn the techniques, do boxes, try it out, make your own exploit. you know there's another tool that does the same thing. Learn them both. See if you get the same results. Because if A doesn't work, you can try B. And that's really the name of the game. Certified pen tester will move its focus from, okay, now you know all these general topics, this general information. Well, it's very good of you. Let's now focus the spotlight a little bit and let's go a layer deeper. That you are familiar with what tools is doing what. For example, if you see an attack going through you and attacking you, you should be able to see, oh, that's an Nmap scan. Someone is scanning me. And because you know what it is from the certified ethical hacking, you know, oh, so this is going on. You understand the concept. And then the big brother comes into play and says, oh, let's do something about it. Let's use this tool to block his connection. Let's use this tool to do a reverse lookup. And let's see if we can go back to him. Or maybe we can do some OSINT, some intelligence resourcing, and let's see if we can find out who is doing what and maybe why. So that's, for me, that's the best way I can explain. The certified ethical hacker is more getting familiar with all these naming, these topics, these special things, some tooling, but pen tester will really make you work for it. It really will ask you like, okay, what tool would you use to do A? And if it would not work, what tool would you use? Why would you use it? That's more CPENT. CPENT is more practical. More like, okay, I will not ask you if you know what a vulnerability is. Here is a box, hack me. That's pen testing. So I hope that explains it for the newly students under us. I'm going with my buzzwords. Mindset. Do what you think you need to be doing. You know yourself the best. I don't know who you are. I don't know what drives you. I don't know what pushes your buttons. Do what you like to do. And if you find your sweet spot, be consistent. Don't like, okay, I'm gonna take a week off. I'm gonna do every day 10 hours pen testing, reading books, doing the labs. That's fine. That's really good. That's a good start. That's really. But that's not what it's about. Be consistent. I think it's more beneficial for you if you would say, you know what? Every Wednesday I will do a box. And every weekend I will read 10 minutes. Half an hour. And maybe you will grow because your mindset will be tweaked. And I can't stress this enough. Work on your mindset. Work on your mindset. Get a goal. Talk to yourself and be honest. Be really honest and say, I want to reach that. And then make a plan. Make a planning. Like, okay, you know what? I want to be certified pen tester by the end of the year. Okay, how are you going to do that? What is your motivation and how are you going to do that? Make a planning. Make it visual. We are visual creatures. Make it visual that you see on a big screen, a big calendar. Hey, it's Wednesday, you know? You said to yourself, Wednesday, you're gonna do a box. Ah, yes, I did. And be consistent. Be consistent. You will tweak your mindset. You will get the mindset. You will get the confidence. You will start to see where you are growing. And that, for me, that was enough. I was seeing like, hey, I am growing. I am evolving. I don't need to read this anymore. I know it. I know how it works because I've done it so much. Nmap, best example ever. Nmap, you will get lost the first day if you use it. You're like, wow, what is this all about? So many options. If you do it, if you're being consistent, after a month, you will like, oh, Nmap, yeah, I know it. I know how it works. And I usually do this and this and that. But I know if this wouldn't work, I can just dive back into my information, look it up, and try something else. So that is the best advice I can give you. Be honest to yourself, create a target for yourself, and then work towards it. And be consistent. Just don't do it 1 week, I'm gonna do everything, and I'm gonna put my life aside. It doesn't work like that. It's not a finish and a forget story. It's a lifelong journey. It's a lifelong learning. And for me, as an IT consultant, as soon as I got the mindset of a hacker, sky's the limit. You have Google, you have the tools, you probably are already familiar with Kali. Jump into your Kali. Every Wednesday, I'm just gonna do something new in my Kali, something I've never done before. It's amazing, and you would be surprised how much you will learn just by being curious. Just by like, is that going to work? Try it. Just try it out and see where it gets you. There is no substitute for experience. None. So that's my biggest advice I can give you. And for all those who are going for it, best of luck to you. You will make it.